Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, Dr. Stono, we definitely have an interesting show with this one. I did not expect such a dramatic jump into psyche going pretty much toe to toe with a tree that's fallen over, which not only is it impressive how he gets it up, but it's even more impressive how he gets the person that is under it pretty much to be on his side already. So not only does he have someone that could probably do a lot of that, manual labor part that he is so disappointed in that he has to do now, but from the conversation we kind of got with the battle back and forth between the girl and Mr. Caveman, it gave me the impression that, or he gave, first of all, he tells us pretty much like point blank, like, okay, it seems like these are some people that have been alive here and been, like in some primitive life already, kind of like the one he wants to live, the way that he sees fit. And he's already in his mind like, I could rule these people. I could take out these people. First of all, you're fighting one of the youngest. You're fighting a young girl, and it's possible that this village could have old people that have been training. Seeing how he's like, there's no way she could have this type of skill for the martial arts. So he pretty much knows it's not a girl from his timeline, like in from the school, or at least 3,000 years ago. She's been alive probably a little bit, like maybe somehow they've been alive maybe even earlier, or faster than Psyche itself. So that's the interesting part of how he kind of looked at how she was reacting to that giant mountain that they were on, and that they pretty much disturbed the giant rock. Like they kind of almost like a worshipping thing. Like they look to that rock for guidance, or they look to these certain landmarks that weren't really anything there before, which it should have been like a, you know, um, whatever it was. I forgot what they said it was in last week's episode, but there was a way that they got there because it was a true landmark, but they have named it something completely different and lived around it because they have adapted this world already much further than any of these three people we see, or four people we see. So I think that's pretty dope. The other thing that's really interesting about this show is the way that they like to attack. Um, they like to attack this show feeling from like multiple angles. Not only do they do this a hero's journey type of deal with our main character, but then you look back at what he just sent his friends into, which is, it seems really dumb now, because just from where the story ends, are the people that we know are closer or further away from the person they need to be with than, I think I'll get killed with them, than our main character, who needs to be away from him, who needs to start the revolution. Now that he knows about this village of people, and he could easily go and attack if she is the best fighter, which she was showing capable skills of at least keeping up with him for a little bit, even though he was clearly holding back. That, and the compliment he gives her of how like ridiculously skilled she is already at her age, it would be scary probably to then get her full adult with never stopping with hunting and all that stuff. She would be absolutely broken. So now that he cut down a tree, and by the time that tree fell and the dust was probably settled, he finally gets there, but the main guy who cut down the tree isn't there anymore. So it's like he literally is on the trail of the enemy already, but our teammates were supposed to go and become his spy which they're super far away from. They went the opposite direction, you know? So that was the weird part of this episode for me, is how he was so close to this. And I guess it makes sense though, because like he was saying, he was going back towards the miracle water. Like he's going back literally to, um, find out if that was his plan as well, is to go back to the cave and get the miracle to start reviving people, so he's pretty much going to hoard that, exactly how our main character expected it. So I like I like how they're trying to really keep all of this, on the rock. Like I was not expecting him to just send his friends away to be spies, but it makes the most sense because they're lost in this world, quote unquote, without their scientist. And what do? They go leave because they're angry, blow off some steam, and come back and be like, yeah, we buried him. And then they just have to save face for the. And that's why she said it would be so grueling to do that. You literally gotta act as if you don't know he's alive, and then, like never blow the cover that he's alive as well. So yeah, it got really interesting really quick because of just this situation they're put in. But then it felt weird that he was so close on the trail of one of them. Now that I was talked it out though, and he's going back to the cave, it makes a lot more sense to me that he's not even going to wind up seeing each other, because he's just gonna dip there. Like I bet you he thought of that as an inconvenience on his time to getting to the cave as well, so he probably hurried up even faster. So I can't wait to see this whole thing play out. Dr. Stone has been going pretty ridiculously, like, on the narrative part of it. Like, this is a heavy narrative based story. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected that, and maybe that's probably why there's not too much people who are just like fighting fanatics putting up fight videos of it. There's been like 4 or 5 I've seen, like, of the clips of it. But if it's a show where it's kind of focused around that and it has some good moments of fighting, people just go nuts and just post it everywhere. This is not one of those shows. And I'm not mad at that or anything. It's just it's doing so good to keep me captivated that they're really just talking. They're really just telling you what is coming up. That's all they've done so far. Oh, we're going to do this. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to go find people to do this. It's always something that they're trying to do, and or after you get that part, you already had an understanding of the emotion and the build up to getting to why they want to do that thing. So amazingly done by Dr. Stone, and I truly, truly want to hear from you guys, or just by watching, I appreciate it anyways. If you guys are enjoying the videos or not. I'm still looking into like a laptop to do some edits and stuff like that, so I can't wait to get that for you guys and see your reaction. So with all that being said, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in Accelerator. Peace.